We are into the busy season, by the way, of January, February, in the Film Bus calendar. This is the most stressful part of the year, because what happens between this period is up to the Oscars, every single...
Cram them in!
Every single film that is worthy of attention is released. This week alone, we've got The King's Speech, which I've seen.
Yes.
127 Hours, which I've also seen. The new Danny Boyle film. We've got the new Paul Haggis film, the guy who did Crash. And wrote the script to $1 Million Baby. That's the next 3 days. There's Able, a Mexican movie that was very well received at Cannes that I'm going to have to... That's 4 movies there that I have to see. And then we're not even talking about next week, you know. So we are in the busy season, hence the 2 reviews hopefully this week. Right, let's start with The King's Speech.
Okay.
Which is gathering a large degree of awards attention for its cast and crew. If you don't know about it, it's essentially the story of old Queen Lizzie's dad, King George VI. Who's played by Colin Firth, who suffered badly from a stamina throughout his life, and the film is essentially about the relationship between the king, well, the budding king, and then later the king, and an eccentric Aussie actor named Lionel Logue, who's played very well by Geoffrey Rush, and it's all about the strange circumstances and weird things, what kind of a friendship developed between the two of them, and the latter helped the former over his speech impediment to deliver a very important speech at the outbreak of World War II. Okay, would you like to hear a clip?
My husband has seen everyone, to no avail. Awfully afraid he's given up hope.
Well, we need to have your hubby pop by. He can give me his personal details, I'll make a frank appraisal, and then we'll take it from there.
Doctor, I don't have a hubby. We don't pop. And nor do we ever talk about our private lives. No, you must come to us.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Johnson. My game, my turf, my rules.
And what of my husband with the Duke of York?
I thought the appointment was for Johnson. Forgive me, your...
Royal Highness.
Royal Highness.
Yes, Johnson was used during the Great War, when the Navy didn't want the enemy to know he was aboard.
Am I considered the enemy?
You will be, if you remain unobliging.
It's a standard British thing where what we do is we take some of our best and most well-known actors and we take our new up-and-coming film directors and we give them a project about our kings and queens, and then all around the world everybody goes, bravo, bravo, all the international audiences lap it up and they say, bravo, brilliant, look at all of the English types being very, very English, it's so magnifique, das ist wunderbar, el Britishio, de Kingio e Killio, de Fantastio, you know. So I mean it's been going on for years. We had the madness of King George, which was oh God, I've forgotten his name, bless him. That guy who played them.
I don't know off the top of my head.
Nigel Hawthorne. Nigel Hawthorne played the Madness of King, all about the King George. We had Her Majesty Mrs. Brown. Do you remember that? The
yes.
Judy Dench
Well, she just called Mrs. Brown here, wasn't it?
Oh yeah. Here. In a world of kings, she was a queen. You know.
My God. And he wore a kilt.
We had the Queen a few years ago.
Yeah.
With Melon Hiram.
Melon Hiram, my favourite.
Herself as the Queen, but winning Oscars.
Yes.
Do you remember that she stood up at the you didn't fall in love with me, you fell in love with the Queen.
Okay.
And everyone went, woo, the Queen, woo!
We just voted for you, love.
At the same time, because the same year, Forrest Whitaker won his Academy Award.
You fell in love with the King of Scotland.
You fell in love with Idi Amin. You know? But anyway, so in order to do this thing properly, I'm going to have to jump on my political soapbox for a moment. Okay.
I have the levels ready.
Right. Okay. And I'm not doing this necessarily because I like the sound of my own voice, although that is, of course, up for serious debate. I'm doing it because I have to declare my own prejudices in order to take the film in some way, you know, treat it in some way fairly. Right. So I hate the monarchy, right? I think it is a foul, archaic, just profoundly wrong political institution. I think in the modern world it is socially, morally and ethically obnoxious to have a system of government that says that some people should rule over other people because of who they are and what breeding stock they came from. I think it is a disgusting thing that should be removed as quickly as possible. I hate the individuals, I hate the institution, and I hate all that preserves it. Okay, we got that clarified.
You done.
Right, therefore, I have an essential problem with films that are about royalty. And not just about royalty, but in the way that this is, in that sort of way where we go, ooh, isn't it lovely? Look at all the royals be all lovely and stuff. I have a problem with a film that asks its audience to go, oh, isn't it really tough being the king, you know? Isn't it hard where everyone asks you to make a speech occasionally? Isn't it really tough being second in line to your brother because he's going to assume the mantle of king when you've got to sit there and you might not assume it, but then who knows? knows, he might abdicate and it might be us. And I think, no, it's not hard really. It's in fact quite easy to be given loads of money and prestige and respect for doing absolutely nothing but be driven around in fancy cars and attend openings of things and occasionally speak into the microphone. I am one to talk. It is a film that also asked me to find Edward VIII, the irresponsible playboy. Look at the cad running about, abdicating the throne. How dare he? Well, actually, I think well done you for giving up the throne. And frankly, if there is a thing to lament, it's that you didn't do it about 4 weeks later when there would have been a constitutional crisis over the whole thing.
Are you coming to the film at some point?
Right. It's a film that asks me to find Helena Bonham Carter, yeah? Delightful! Just delightful as the old-fashioned-minded Queen Mum who insists on being called Your Majesty and who walks into the places and goes, oh, have a cup of tea with a therapist. And she goes, oh, Mom's fine because I'm very, very lovely and things. And I think, how dare you behave like this, you horrible woman? How dare you? And why don't you go away and not assume superiority for having married some time. It asks me to find heroism in a king managing to successfully unite his subjects all together. And what I actually think is you suffering, overprivileged boor. What have you actually done to deserve my respect or my loyalty? Thank the higher powers of the universe that the person who everyone actually remembers in all this is Winston Churchill, aka Timothy Spall. So here's a measure of my contempt with it. So I sat there watching it, desperately trying to take my prejudices away. But even the bit, here's the measure of my contempt with this. The bit where Liz and Mary, the cute little babies, and one of them's played by the kid from Outnumbered. I love Outnumbered. I think that's one of the best sitcoms out there. And all I could think was, I hate all of you people. I want to depose the lot of you. I want your palace to be turned into a giant theme park for tourists, where you are personally made to perform whimsical song and dance numbers at our request. I want Windsor Castle to be made into a hospital. I want Balmoral to be turned into a school. I want every single one of you to have to work for a living, hopefully in some horrible, badly paid and demeaning job to make up for the centuries of odious privilege your families enjoyed. I literally, by the end of the film, I'm going, Viva la Resistance, comrades! Let us rise up against this tyranny. Arise, ye workers from your slums.
You know when you said you were trying to remove yourself from the...
prisoners of one. For reason in revolt now thunders, and at last ends the age of Kant. Right. With all that said, yeah? With everything I have against the film, and I have a lot against the film...
I've gathered.
Let me try and add a bit of balance.
Oh.
I can't say it isn't well made. In terms of script, there are bits that are very witty and engaging. In terms of the pacing, it's brisk and well put together. I even enjoyed bits of it.
We'll go back to the light music.
It's essentially a buddy movie between the Geoffrey Rush character and the Colin Firth character. Yeah. And actually, all the scenes where it's just those two in the room doing the therapy, I went with it a little bit. I went, yeah, all right, yeah, I can go with this. I can get over the politics of this because you've made a well-made film. The problem is, I cannot get over the politics of it. And I'll compare it to Harry Brown. Did you see Harry Brown a couple of years ago?
No.
Harry Brown was the Michael Caine movie.
And
it
his
was
sort
very
of
well made. And,
thing.
It was incredibly well made, very, briskly good shot action movie. Michael Caine's always fun to watch, all this sort of stuff. But essentially, the message of the film was that hoodies are evil and we should shoot them all.
Yeah.
Right, well, the message of this film is the monarchy is brilliant and shouldn't we all give it a round of applause? Right, now, for the sake of balance, Moxie, you're a bit of a Tory. Tell me what you thought.
I just enjoyed it as a film. I called me a bit of a Luddite, but I went into it thinking this is a film. It's a piece of motion picture. I should leave. I wouldn't say I'm a royalist. I'm indifferent. I really don't care. I'm a fan of the status quo because it causes less angst.
Then
no, but
come rally.
Also, you have to say, what I'm talking about now. I don't really see a purpose, but I don't really give a damn. If someone pushed me, I'd say, fine, go. I don't really care. Show me the financial aspects. But I'm talking about, I'd put myself in the time of then, to the public, to the majority of the public, it was you're seething at me there. But, in those days, the public had a love of the royals, good or bad, you can see it as, but that was what they had. And, for this film, and you say, isn't it horrible that the king can't speak? Nowadays, who would give a damn? No one would care.
I don't think it's horrible that the king can't speak. I think it's horrible.
No, that's what the film said. The film said, isn't it dreadful that the king can't speak?
Yeah.
And nowadays, I agree with you. I really wouldn't give a damn. Mm-hmm. But the fact that then, to the public, the king was a leading figure and everyone drew a lot of inspiration from the king, it's kind of important that it did.
And
so
that's a good thing.
Whether it's good or bad, it actually was a thing. It existed. And I'm not going to judge the people from the 1950s for being dense or
No, it's not,
for whatever.
It's not the people from the 1950s.
30s, sorry, my bad.
Yes, you're right. You sucked me in.
I
there
got the
with
wrong side of the wall.
Historical inaccuracies. No, it's not. It's the aesthetic that goes. Look, the king, the queen. They're just like us, aren't they? They have the same problems.
See, in fairness, actually, I saw around that, and I just saw it as the buddy movie, and I thoroughly enjoyed the buddy movie. I also thoroughly enjoyed Colin Firth. You could just instead of the Duke of York, let's call him Flippy Pants. And I thought Flippy Pants...
But you can't just call him Flippy Pants because he is the Duke of York.
But in that room, he's not. He's Bertie. In that room, he's Bertie and it's Lionel.
Yeah, I like
and that's a lovely movie.
I like
and
that,
and I watched... And Colin Firth's performance, when he's doing the speech impediment, is fantastic.
It's good.
And you could see the struggle behind the teeth of trying to get a word out. And he's in tear... Well, his eyes are welling up and he's shaking and he just wants to get the bloody word out. And that's what I saw. Yeah, there's the obviously you can't escape the royalty thing, and I agree with you. But I didn't watch it going, "That's the king." I watched it going, "That's a bloke called Bertie."
As I say, the film itself, to use the furniture analogy once again, if it were a chair, it would stand up and you could sit on it.
Yeah.
But I cannot remove myself from my political objections to it.
Okay.
Then
well, you're slightly biased there, I think. You've been painted.
Let us all face the
You've got another verse.
Internationale unites the human race.
Good. Are you done?
I am. Do you want to play a song?
National anthem. All stand.